Welcome back to the next episode. Customer lifetime value is what we're going to be talking about today.
So let's go first into understanding a little bit about what lifetime value is and customer lifetime value. And then we're going to talk about like how this applies to SEO and how it applies to how we do sales. So the lifetime value of a client is the average sale times the number of times or number of transactions they do times the retention period. Okay.
How long they stay.
So it's pretty simple. So I'm going to do like, if we did, somebody does, to be very, very, very simple numbers, it's like if somebody does $2 a transaction, they do it twice a month for 1 year, that'd be $4, right? Very simple number just to make it simple. We're going to get into real numbers, but that's just to explain it. Then what you do is you do the lifetime value times your profit margin, which gets you your customer lifetime value. So now that you understand a little bit about exactly what we're going to be talking about, we're going to tell you a little bit about how we do that in sales.
So like just to clear it up, if you charge $2,000 a month, but you got to do fulfillment and all the stuff that goes into the business, and let's say it's 50%, then it's going to be, you made $1,000 off of this guy, not off of your customer, not 2,000, right?
Right. If
that's actual.
Exactly. So the example is $2,000 times 12 transactions, right? They do it every single month, and they stay with us for 2 years. We got a brand new client, $2,000 a month, 12 times a year for 2 years. We make $48,000 in revenue.
But there's work that's got to be done, right? So your actual is going to be half of that, assuming your profit margin is 50%, right? So it just depends on again, this is where strategy of business comes into play, is like, what do you sell? What's your actual bottom line? And you can really start to paint a picture. Is SEO right for us? It's like, yes, everyone should have some capacity of SEO, but it's really like it's almost like a mathematical science. That's what I tell people. It's like you can literally get down to almost the dollars and cents, and this is where tracking comes into play. Is a lot of people, that's what we struggle with. It's like we got to almost force people, track it internally. And I get it, it's more work, but not if you set up correct processes and procedures at the beginning before you even get started, actually setting it up to where it's almost all automated. You punch in a few numbers maybe, but that's about it. You know what I mean?
So I love how you said tracking. I think that's the number one thing is people, like, again, I'm just going to throw restaurants under the bus. We've worked with a ton of restaurants. They're not tracking that Jim comes in every single week on Wednesday and orders the same thing. They might internally see Jim and say, yo, hey Jim, how you doing? Good to see you. But they're not saying, well, Jim always brings one person with him. Mm-hmm. He always buys it with a soda.
Well, it's like a perfect example. I found these nachos at this place. So I laughed because I go there. I found these nachos at this Mexican spot, and for some reason, they got the beans, a ton of steak nachos, right? So a ton of steak, and it's just the best. I've been in there like probably on average minimum once a week, but some weeks I'll go 3, some weeks I go 2. So probably I would say the average is twice a week, and then also. I keep telling you, I brought you in a few times, like at least 6 probably.
Or more.
Plus Colin. Anyway, so my point is like now it starts to become like, okay, with SEO I found them, me, plus I referred you, plus I referred Colin, plus I brought another human up there. Anyway, so it starts to become, because I found them off of one, a little harder to track referrals, but my point is at least tracking that first person. And it's funny because I go in there and they don't even ask my order. I just say, hey, I'm here. They're like, nachos?
So this goes to the fact that people don't have either a customer loyalty program, or they don't look at their transactions, and say, hey, I see this same card. They don't have to know your name, right? They don't have to be like,
it's already hooked up to Clover, whatever POS
exactly.
They have.
And so they look at their POS and they say, okay, this number comes in every single week twice. So then you can be like, okay, I can track this person. Mm-hmm. Then they can put a figurative name, a fake, buyer persona to whoever you are, and see that and be like, okay, let's track it. So I think that's what our biggest issue is with a lot of our clients is people are like, well, I don't see the value, or they get new clients and they say, yeah, we did come from the internet, but then they're not tracking that person who came from the internet, who now gives you more referrals, mm-hmm. or does anything additional, let's say, okay, we're going to use dentists in a minute. Mm-hmm. If you are an individual and you have 2 kids and I'm a husband and I have a wife, that means you're getting 3 new patients because I brought in 1 new patient.
Yeah, 1.
Plus they're going to tell their neighbor that, hey, I really love my dentist. And all of a sudden, these numbers are going to increase. But guess what? They don't correlate that with your sale. They say, oh, well, this one guy that came in, that's the only one sale. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, we see that all the time. And what's even crazier is I get it. Being patient is hard. I'm very impatient. We speak fast and everyone wants instant gratification. So it's crazy to me that people will spend 5x or 10x. Like an SEO budget is not that crazy. $1,500, $2,000 a month. You can't get, I mean, for a full service agency like us, we have like 15 people touch one account. They're all specialists in their own field. SEO, copywriter, content person that specializes in that niche, and that's a ton of people, right? But my point is like people want instant sales, money, and that's great. But what we need to think about is do it all. I mean, realistically, do the sales to get the money to then invest into your SEO budget. Because again, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, that's nothing in the grand scheme of a business. I mean, if you don't have $2,000 a month as a business to spend on marketing, then you need to go, pound some pavement, hit the doors, hit the phones. Like you're like two dudes in an office, like trying to make a company. Like you're not, again, our other videos, phases of businesses. But getting back to my point is if you track everything, set up the correct operations processes at the beginning, you're going to be way more successful and you're going to actually see the numbers. And that's what people that understand SEO, it's only crazy in complex because you have 5 SEO guys you've tried. And I mean SEO guys, it's some dude that's like, sure, give me some money, I'll do your SEO. And maybe he does some stuff, but he doesn't do everything like, technical on-site page speed every single month, your website, security, making sure it's a fast code for load speed, doing niche-oriented blog. He's not a content writer, he's not a copywriter, editor, a storyteller, and then niche-oriented link build. Anyway, you can just keep going with all the things that go into SEO, and that's the point, is doing true. That's why we keep talking about true SEO. Because true SEO is doing everything on a monthly basis, consistency on those things, but then all you do is pivot 1% on having an ever-evolving strategy, keywords. Once you get them to the first page, you can start to see every keyword, how much volume, how much clicks are we getting. And again, it's like, that's why we're not, we have, the domain Reborn SEO, but Reborn Consultants, because it's really like, okay, once you get that traffic, and you can track everything. How do we convert better? How do we, anyway, it's a whole approach of your business, and that's how it becomes a multifaceted,
So what I want to hit on is what you said, strategy. So I think one of the things we talk about, and just like even on the very first calls when we're like, hey, let's get to know about your business, we're understanding, and this just goes a little side note about sales. What are you doing for your sales and how's it set up? Rylan and I have done millions of dollars in sales. And so what we do is we look at what's going on. We're like, hey, what do you need to improve on? And we say, hey, so we're going to get you traffic. We're going to get you success. But now we're worried if it's actually going to be able to be fulfilled on, or are you guys actually, and everyone says, yeah. Oh, no, we've been doing it for 10 years. And I'm like, all of a sudden, Rylan or myself or one of our team members gets in there and they're like, so what we found out is they don't actually follow up ever. And we're like, what are you talking about? Like, if it's basic sales, you should at least follow up once. And they're like, oh, well, we just, we don't follow up. And I'm like, okay, so you're losing millions of dollars because you're not asking somebody. Mm-hmm. For example, if it's, again, just use insurance and then we'll go into our dental example. If they're like, somebody calls in and says, hey, I'm interested in this. And you're like, yeah, I'll send you some quotes. And you don't follow up saying, hey, did you get those quotes? Were those good? Are those too high, too low?
And right there, it's going to be hard. You're creating another job in terms of if you have to go in and click the button to follow up and do stuff. This is where at the beginning, your process is an operation. You need to have like a playbook to where it's like, okay, and this exact vertical for these exact, maybe it's just car insurance, right. Generic, right? It's not even house or whatever. That's upselling. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds, but my point is that actually having the processes in place. So humans make mistakes. Humans are amazing in your business, but they're there for a reason. You need to have automations to where it's like, okay, put them into play, hit go, and it runs through your 6 emails, oh, hey, it notifies you to call, all the stuff, right?
No, exactly. So yeah, now let's get into our example. So
this is for dentists, yeah. So
dental specific.
Yeah, dental specific. Again, what we do is we analyze every business and we ask the right questions to figure out, you as an owner, where are you at? How many people do you have on your team? And just getting down to what's your sales process like? What are you doing for follow-ups? 50% of sales are lost in follow-ups. It's not the first, you're not going to one call close someone. Yeah, sure, that happens.
It happens, yeah.
But, That's not usually what happens.
So we're gonna go off of an example. So we go after a word that's dental implants, right? And
the reason is the strategy, guys, because like you want to make money, right, in your business, and you specialize. Again, if you're like an ortho, maybe you do Invisalign. That's a key word. Wisdom teeth. If you're a general dentist, braces, right? And these are all high value, kind of targeted items to, again, make sure that you make money in the year. But we're going to talk about the lifetime value, right? This video, the lifetime value, and then also tracking, but the lifetime value of this. But we're starting with dental implants because, the average dental implant's like $1,700 to $2,000 a month per implant. And so that's kind of the thing, is making sure that we not only recoup the money, but you're getting the type of clientele that you want. Anyway.
Yeah, so we'll say they get one dental implant, you know what I mean? Just make it simple.
Yeah, that's how they find you. SEO, they look up, like, I even have a tooth, I need a dental implant. So when that, time comes, I'm gonna look up dentist dental implant, right? Utah, whatever.
Dental implant near me, or somebody, dentists who do dental implants.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna say that they're like, okay, they're really happy with the dental implant, and they're gonna come to you once a year for one cavity, okay? Just one cavity every, for the 1 year, and then they do 2 cleanings in that session, right? And so what we figured out is, on average, the cleaning is $125. So you times that by 2, we're at $250. Okay. 2
cleanings in a year.
We do one cavity, and it's $125, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have the one implant throughout the year. And so again, to make it really simple, is we're at $2,375, right? So boom, we have that.
So that's for one person,
one patient for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So on average, we're gonna say just what we've done for some dentists that we've had in the past. We usually get them 5 new patients.
Yeah, on average, 5 new dental implant patients per month, finding them. That's not including general and all the other. That's where SEO, I get excited, because we're not just only going after dental implants. You're doing general, cleanings, whatever, root canal, whatever, right? And that's kind of the big thing. But anyway, continue with the numbers.
Yeah, so you're good. So in 1 year, for one patient, we have 2,000. So this was the math that we did. So what we figured out is, like, we get 5 new patients, right? Because I didn't put that number. So 5 new patients, we're at $11,850.
That's month 1
per month, right? So month 1,
right?
And
the next
then
5 patients, yeah.
So we're gonna do for a whole year, right? Because they signed up for a whole year contract,
right?
And that number adds up to $142,200. That's their total lifetime value.
And he's saying, doing 12 months of SEO, the average is 5 new dental implant patients per month. And again, there's going to be some months there's going to be 10, some months there's going to be 3, some months there's going to be 15. It depends on, again, that's where the strategy comes into looking at it beforehand. We can tell all of this based on, in Raleigh, North Carolina, people are looking up this keyword like crazy. And that's where you start to get a really good strategy. But anyway, keep going with the numbers. So $142,000.
Correct.
Just in year 1.
Year 1, having 5 new patients a month. So we said, okay, on average, we're going to say it's, again, go with 50%. So it costs 50% is going towards your office, going towards your staff payment, going towards your supplies.
The actual dental implant, yeah.
And so on average, we're going to say it's $71,000 is what you actually make, which is your customer lifetime value, right? Your lifetime value is just the total revenue, but your actual profit margins are coming into your customer lifetime value. So we did some simple, easy math. So let's say this person paid $1,500 a month
for SEO,
right? For the 12-month period.
That's a solid strategy for local SEO. I mean, again, you want to make sure you're doing everything properly. Again, local citations as well. That's going to help you. But the number is
$53,000 is what they make. That's what they take.
That's profit. Yeah, that's
after
profit.
They spend with us, and after they pay all their people.
Yeah. So that's profit, and then not only that, again, that's only one keyword. So that's where SEO. Yes, it sucks in the first 6 months. Like, sure, you don't see it, but you're not a dentist, or you're not in business for 6 months. You're like, hey, I've been a dentist for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Not only that, but I always talk about this, or have it on my mind, is you're building up your brand, your reputation. You're going to be the kingpin of dentists in your town. Oh, I want to, I went to school forever. I want to prove that, hey, I'm the best. So that's what's so funny about people, is just being on the first page, being there, always on their mind. That is, to them, what is the best. Mixed in with, your referrals and your reviews and all that stuff. But the point is that people are pretty simple-minded, and they will go ahead and be like, oh, wow, I keep seeing blah, 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 DDS. I'm going to click on him. And that's what they see.
So this is my conclusion, and if you have anything else, Rylan. So my conclusion is, if they're making that much money overall in their their marketing from doing one marketing channel, and they're not including, most of the times they're not going to include the referrals that I was talking about earlier, where I'm like, hey, I'm a family, I'm one guy.
I have a daughter. If I like a dentist, I'm gonna say, hey, let's go to this guy. So like that's the other thing too is. See, and that's where the strategy comes in. We would love to have dentists where we do, SEO gets you traffic, and then we figure out a referral system to where we can track the referrals. Because that 50,000 profit, that's like on the low end of if you just didn't track it, did one keyword, here you go, 1 year. The average patient stays for 7. Exponential growth. Okay, 50 year, that's only one keyword. We go after like 3 to 5 keywords at a time, get them ranked. Local SEO is way easier. We get them ranked, we maintain those keywords, then go on to the next one. So if every keyword is only getting you, let's say 20,000, let's even cut that number in half, 25K in profit, 25K plus the 50K plus 25K profit. You start to see it's like, if you have 10 keywords on the first page of Google, you're getting $250,000 in profit. You know what I mean? Like it just starts to, and then year over year, we're millions of dollars. Yeah, anyway, it starts to add up to where you create a self-sustaining business. And that's what I love about SEO. Is it stays with you for the mid to long term. The longer you do it, month over month, the better it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. It's just, you have to understand that some people don't see these things. And that's what we're trying to illuminate and help people, that you can make more money. And if they stayed with this strategy for 7 years, right, they'd make $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
In revenue. That's what it adds up to. $1 million in revenue.
That's just off one keyword.
And that's not even trying to do other marketing streams, which you can do email marketing, you can do ads.
And you can even gamify it. I love that. You can literally say, hey, bring in a referral. We'll give you this nice $300 toothbrush or whatever. The point is you spend it, and that's like a very expensive toothbrush. You can find a nice toothbrush for $100.
Right.
But my point is like, hey, win this trip to Hawaii, $600 for their plane ticket. That's an expensive plane ticket. But bam, you do something like that. Hey, refer a friend, have a drawing for $600. Anyways, you do all these cool things and then you track it. Then you can make millions of dollars, not just $1 million. You can make a whole business, and if you want to open new practices, I mean, shoot, we'll invest with you. Anyways, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to the next one.